Hey everyone, I'm going to be doing this really simple, easy back-to-school look using mostly drugstore products as well as using Sigma brushes, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to start with the face makeup. Now if you have decently good skin, you don't need to pile on a whole lot of foundation. Unless you just like that look, that's perfectly fine. But you know me, I think it's better to just keep it light and let your skin breathe. So what I'm going to do is just create my own tinted moisturizer. You could use a tinted moisturizer too, or some light powder, but if I want something that's longer lasting, the Revlon Colorstay is really good. It's not the perfect match for my skin tone, but when I share it out with the moisturizer, it just blends in a lot more nicely. So what I'm going to do is literally just get some moisturizer, and then I'm just going to dot that around my face where I know that I'm going to be putting that foundation. Lots of more around the areas that I don't want it to be too cakey. Right? And then as far as concealing goes, I'm going to go ahead and just dot that too. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Double Face Perfector, and if you guys know me, I love this. So I'm just going to dot that underneath the eyes. Maybe a little bit around the nose too. And then I'm actually going to take the highlight side and just dot some of that under here too. It just really helps brighten it all up. Alright, and now I'm going to grab my Sigma flat top kabuki brush. Love it. This is what I like to use when I'm just, I want to apply my foundation in a hurry. And then I'll grab some of my Revlon Colorstay. I'm just going to start off with a little bit because I might not want that much. And then just dab it around first. Yep, I think this is a good amount because I don't want too much. And then just start blending it in. And this brush makes it so easy, honestly. So I'm just going to blend that all in. I'm just going to bring some down so it doesn't look mask-like, since the color isn't perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to lightly just like dab in the concealer. You could use your fingers too, I usually do, but since I've got my brush, I'll just use it. And then you could apply whatever's left over your lids too. See, notice how that really brightened up my eyes? Now as far as powder goes, you guys know my favorite drugstore powder would definitely have to be the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. And I have it flipped open, but as you can see, I've used a lot of it. It has a tint of color to it that I wish it didn't, because otherwise it would be like holy grail powder. But it's really a good powder though. It's great if you want to help control the oil and get rid of the shine. And I recommend this to a friend, and she really likes it too. So I'm going to use this brush. I already started putting some powder on, and it's the tapered face brush. So I'm just going to pack that onto the brush. And then I'm just going to dab it first over like the T-zone where I get most oily. Also dab it across the eyes. If you're really, really oily, you might want to use like a powder puff or something instead of a brush. But I'm just dabbing that all across. Okay. Now I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to go into this bronzer. This is the NYC bronzer in Sunny, just to give some color into my cheeks. So I'm just going to apply it to the tip of the brush like that. And then in like circular motions, just blend that in. Right around the cheekbone, a little bit underneath that area. Just blend that in and then bring it towards the mouth, and then just blend that a little bit onto the cheek too. Just apply a little bit across the chin. And then I'm just going to take a little bit like flat like this, and then go on the sides of my forehead like this, and then also whatever's remaining, just kind of blend the rest. Next, I think if you're wearing foundation, you should make your brows look a little bit more polished too. So I just used a small angled brush and this NYX shadow in chocolate. Any kind of grayish brownish color will work well, like an ashy tone brown. And just tap it on and apply it. And I've already applied it, but I kept it really light, so it doesn't take long at all. I just had some sparse areas like right here that I filled in. Next, if you're someone with oily lids, you just find that your eye makeup melts off pretty quickly, I think it's important to invest in a good eye primer. I mean, I don't really think there's a really great one at the drugstores just yet, so I'm going to use my Urban Decay Primer Potion. As usual, it's my favorite. So just apply that across the lids and underneath the lower lash line. And then just smooth that out. Now recently I went to the drugstore and I saw this palette. And the colors just looked perfect for school, like perfect for everyday neutral looks. Like you could easily just do a brownish kind of look and use these two, or you could switch it up and apply some purple. So I'm just going to grab this flat shader brush and go into that peachy highlight shade. This is the base shade. And I'm going to apply this all over the lid, just patting it on. And then also apply some underneath the brows to highlight. And I think we will incorporate some purple into it, so let's go into that lid shade right there. And I'm just going to use the other side of the brush. And then just apply that on the center portion and to the rest of the lid. It's subtle, but I think that's perfect for school. I'm just using the brush and kind of like tapping over the edges of the color, and that's really helped blending everything in. Now I'm going to take an eyeliner pencil, and I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible one. I'm just going to lightly brush this across my upper lash line, only on the outer half. Very, very lightly, because too much of it will tend to smear, so I'm just kind of lightly dabbing it on. I'm going to take this short shader brush and then go into the deeper purple, which is actually the crease color in this one. And then I'm just going to dab that over the pencil and just kind of try to like smudge it out in a way. So just dab it on and smudge that out. It's going to give a nice soft appearance. Now I'm just going to use the same brush and go into the brown. And just use the brown to lightly define the lower half of my lash line. So just dab that in. Okay, so we got that, and I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm just going to use my Sephora one. This is pricier. It's not a drugstore brand, obviously, but I think it's worth the investment to get a good lash curler too that works for you. I'm going to use the Maybelline 1x1 mascara because it's kind of foolproof. Like, I'm not going to have to worry too much about getting clumps or anything, and it just gives a nice clean look. I really love Revlon lipsticks, so I'm going to do a touch of the Revlon Blase Apricot Moondrops lipstick first. It's a gorgeous, like, apricot-y, corally lip color, and it's very pigmented, so I'm just going to dab that on. I'm going to tone it down with this pink. This is the Revlon Color Burst Lipstick in Carnation. Okay, now that I take a look at the entire face and seeing if I might want to add anything to it, I am going to add a little bit of blush. I'm going to use a NYX blush in Peach, and it's a matte shade, which is even better for those of you who have oily skin. It's not going to emphasize any oiliness. So I'm just going to use the Sigma Powder Blush Brush. Just dab a bit onto the brush and apply this right to the cheekbone and then bring it down to the apples of the cheeks. So that is the complete look, great for back to school or for every day, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the corresponding Sigma giveaway, and you guys have a great one.